What's going on, guys? My apologies for not getting a new video out sooner. I've been kind of tied up with a sick 1.5-year-old at home, and also decided to take on a quick project at my in-laws before I started a new job. So regardless, this video is going to give you an update of my fall renovation project that I did a few weeks back, and I'm also going to talk about my winterization plan, so stay tuned. So I just recently cleared that 100 subscriber milestone. So for those of you who did subscribe, thanks. I really appreciate your support. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I assure you, you're going to love the video content I have coming out. So first I want to start by giving you a quick update to the fall renovation plan that I did a few weeks back. As you remember, this is not my first season of this lawn. This is actually my second season of growing a Kentucky Bluegrass. My goal with this fall renovation was to give my lawn that second push to both develop it above and below the soil so that things would thicken up and really, develop into a really nice, lush green lawn. I can't say enough about how well this plan has worked for me. As you can see here, my lawn has really thickened up. The blades are nice and wide. Everything is green. I mean, as far as color goes, I am pretty much dominating most of my neighbors right now with the green color that I have. You can really clearly see the difference between my lawn and my neighboring yards. I can't say enough about how well it has worked to, give my lawn that push by thatching it and hitting it with some micronutrients, soil amendments, and giving it that starter fertilizer that really helped bring out some more growth. Now, I can't say that every part of my yard is exactly what I wanted. There are still some problem areas in my backyard. There's some thinning. I'm probably going to have to do some overseeding at some point just to make things kind of fill in a little bit better. But for the most part, olive areas in my front yard are really great and thick, just like I was hoping for. So on a downside, I did recently develop a issue on my lawn over the last couple of weeks. I've got rusty lawn. Basically what's happening is my lawn is got some kind of fungus or disease, I'm not sure what you want to call it, where the tips have a rust spore that's basically coating the blades of the grass. It's to the point where you can actually see it on the riding lawnmower bags that I have, or the front of my push mower that I used. It's basically like a rust coating like a dusting that you're seeing on everything. I first noticed it when I was walking across the yard doing something, and my sneakers were kind of rusty looking. I looked into it a little bit further, and that's when I realized I had an issue. So I guess it all comes down to my lawn is lacking in nitrogen. I was kind of surprised to know that my lawn was lacking in nitrogen, seeing as how just a few weeks ago I'd put down a starter fertilizer, which I thought had a pretty decent amount of nitrogen in it. But my lawn actually developed so quickly and pushed into some new growth that it used up all that nitrogen pretty quick. So now it's actually nitrogen deficient. My research online, I watched a video from Alan Hain, Lawn Care Nut, where he described this problem, and his best method to help get rid of this is to basically push this problem out of your lawn with new growth. And that means hitting it really hard with a high nitrogen fertilizer. He actually pushed a Scott's Step 3. I just so happen to have some Scott's fertilizers left over from a few years back before I really started to get into some of these other types of fertilizers. So I'm actually going to use what I have left of a Scott's Step 3 fertilizer. It's got a really high nitrogen content. I think it's 32%, and only a little bit of that is slow release. So this is really going to give my lawn a big push and hopefully push all that fungus or disease right out of the lawn. So I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna see what happens, water it in, and hopefully this problem will go away. Now I know putting down all this nitrogen is probably gonna give my lawn a growth spurt, which is fine because here in the New England areas, fall is kind of tricky. We're still hitting days with 70-degree temperatures, and my irrigation system is still up and running. We haven't gotten cold enough to the point where I've got to worry about doing any kind of blowout or anything. So I can still mow my lawn and water things in, and just, kind of wait for the weather to turn before I get into my winterization program. My plan is to use a Lesco fertilizer. I think it's a 30-0-10. So it's very high in nitrogen, but it's slow release. So it's not going to be having any effect on the lawn right away. And hopefully my timing will be correct with the temperatures. And therefore that fertilizer will just basically sit dormant throughout the course of the winter and be there ready to go for springtime to give my lawn that push early on in the season. So the rest of my fall season should be pretty simple. I don't really have a lot to do. Basically, I just have to wait for the soil temperatures to get to the right point where I can put down that winterizing fertilizer. In the meantime, I'm going to keep mowing my lawn a little bit shorter than normal, probably around 2 inches, just to make it easier to pick up leaves and acorns, because I know that season's about to come and I'm not really looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave some comments. And hey, if I have some time, I might even do a quick update on my rusty lawn problem. Hopefully that step 3 will push that stuff right out of my lawn.